What's up? It's your boy, House of Jails. There I go, changing my theme song again. Anyway, all right. So this is the fifth installment, and this will be the last installment of these. For right now, I just did 4 other videos. I did all of these back to back to back to back. So I figured let me at least get these first 5 videos up to just give you some basic theory and understanding of the piano too. I started off with the notes on the piano, whole step, half steps. Then I went into major scales and how to do the relative minor scales, and then I went into chords, showing you chords: major, minor, major 7, and minor 7 chords. And now, so what I want to do to end off this little segment of videos is to show you how to invert a chord to give you a different sound. It's like it's the same chord, but it might give you that sound. Sometimes a lot of chords sound sweeter when you mix the notes around in them. You know what I'm saying? And that's all inversion. That's all you're really doing when you're doing inversions. You're just mixing the notes around. And sometimes you get a much sweeter chord. I could play C minor 7 like this, or I could play a C minor chord, play a C minor 7, and just make it sound much sweeter. And actually what I did was just add a ninth to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to take chords, invert them. So it's a very simple process. And what they're called, we're going to go through your basic inversions, which is basically your first inversion, second inversion, and when you're dealing with 7th chords, third inversions, like a minor 7 or major 7. You got that's when you can have a third inversion. Okay, so we just going. I'm going to try to make this. The other ones was kind of long. If I show it to you with just a couple of chords, it works with every single major chord, minor chord, whether it's 7th or regular. You know what I'm saying? It's just a concept. Here's our C major chord. We learned this one on the other video. C, E, G, 1, 3, and 5 of the scale. Right? This is what you want to call your root position. That means root means you have the C in that left hand. It's in the root position. It's the first note. And then you put the 3 and the 5 on top of it. Root position. Now, if you take let's say the third, okay? And now you still got C, E, and G, but now instead of playing the C down here, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna play the C right here. So of course you gotta change your fingering to play it that way. Now if you notice, I'm still playing C, E, and G, but C is no longer the root right now. That is when you start getting into what is called inversions. This chord that you see me playing right here is still a C major chord. What are you talking about? I thought chords, you thought the first note has to be that. It has to be some type of E chord, and blah, 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 this, and blah, 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 and blah, that. But let me educate you. This is still a C major chord, but what this is called is the first inversion. Here's what has happened. Instead of C being the root, E is now the root of the chord. But since you still have C, E, and G, it's still a C major chord. But now the third, right? We agree that E is the third, right? This is 1, 2, 3. Whenever you have the third of the scale as the root of the chord, you call that first inversion. In a lot of my videos, when I'm doing the piano tutorials for the songs, and I say, oh yeah, that's just a first inversion or a second inversion, all that. That's all that means. First inversion means the third of the scale is now the root. Now I can take it another step farther and say, I don't want to play the E right here. I want to play the E over here. And to keep these two the same, but I want to just put the E over there. So now you have this. You are still playing a C major chord. This is still a C major chord. C, E, G. But now, which number is the root? First we had C, which was 1 as the root. Then we had E, which was the third. Now we have the fifth of the scale. C, D, E, F, G. The fifth of the scale is now being played as the root. When the fifth of the scale, or the fifth of the chord, 1, 3, 5, is played as the root, you have what is called second inversion. So you have root, first inversion, second inversion. Look at that again. Root, first inversion, second inversion, and then you can go back to the root again. Now notice how I took those inversions to make it, let's say you get to the end of a song, you just played this song and you want to get to the end and you want to do something fancy. Take your chords and play all the inversions back to back. That's a nice way to embellish your piano playing. Instead of just playing, you know, when you first start playing, you say, okay, I know if I play the C major chord right here, and you play it again, and guess what? That sounds nice. All in the root position, that sounds nice. But if you want to give it even more of a nice sound, you can take and play all the inversions. First inversion, second inversion, first. It gives it an even more professional. It make you seem like, oh man, he's the bomb diggity. Sorry about that. So, and you can do that with any chord. So let's take the F major chord. So we have the 1, right? In the key of F, F major scale, F is 1, right? 3, right? 1, 2, 3. B flat is 4 and C is 5. So 1, 3, 5. Let's say, I want to take this F and play it up here. Fine, play it up there. You still have F, A, C. It's still an F major chord, but now you have the third as the root position. Instead of F, the third is the root position, so that's called first inversion. If you want to get slick and say, I want to take this A, play it up here, fine, do that. You still have F, A, C. C is the fifth of the scale because F is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When the fifth is played as the root of the chord, it's called second inversion. Then you can do that little thing where you go root, first, second inversion. You can just go up the piano and go. Wow, that got real heavy up there, didn't it? Okay, anyway, but yeah, so I mean, and so you can take, that's one way of you can take playing different inversions of the chord and sweeten up your playing and make it sound like you're really doing something, you know. And you can, and when you have your different inversions, you can still play F on your left hand as your bass to as the root with your left hand. So let's say you take, here's your F major chord. I move this finger up so you can see that I'm playing F. But even if I decide to take this F and play it up here, you can still. So now you're filling out your chord. And you can even add the C. Since you're playing the C right here, you can add the C. So as opposed to playing, you can do. You hear how that's a fuller sound? And if you, you know, and play around with the inversions. Play around with it. Try different things. Just stick with the chord. Stick with the same notes that's in the chord. Now, I showed you first inversion, second inversion, and I said you can do third inversions when you're dealing with chords that have sevenths in them. Let's go to C major 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. If you take this B, or, yeah, you can do that. And you have B as the bass. So let's say you, what's the best way of putting B in the bass? I guess you can just go hit on and have your F, E, C. Play your F, E, C up here. But now you have the seventh. So you have, that's a major 7. C major 7. And that's still C major 7. But did you see how sweet that sounds? So you can make your major 7 sound like this. And then you can play it. It almost, some people will think that you just played a totally different chord, but no, you're still playing a C major 7. And you can keep the C in the bass with your left hand. And maybe you might want to say, well, I'm still going to keep, that's a third inversion, by the way. When you take the seventh and put it in the root, it's a third inversion. But that's not the only way you can play a third inversion. You can still keep the B right there and say, well, I'm going to play the C, E, and G right here. So now you got the C, E, G, B. I'm going to have to use 2 fingers. My fingers don't stretch that wide. This is still a C major 7, and if you add the C to the on the left hand, you can go. Take this, take this, and play with it. This is especially if you want to become a songwriter and create your own music. These are things that you can do to figure out how chords are built, how they work. Play with them, switch them around, take the notes. You can do it with your minor chords too. I think we should look at C minor 7 in the other video. You can still take the 5th of C minor, which is the G, and have that be played as the root, and take your C and E flat up here. That is still a C minor chord. C, E flat, G. So you can play it here, or C, E flat, G, G, there you go. Okay, I'm off the shot. Let me show you down here. Okay, I forgot that the camera wasn't over there. So you got the C minor, and then you can let the E flat be the bass. C, E flat, G, still C minor. You can move the E flat over here. C, E flat, G. And take the G, move it back over there. So there go all the inversions. First, what was that? First, third. First and second, first and second inversion. Take the C, move it over there. Take the E flat, move it over. Take the G, move it over. See what I just did? Take the C, move it up there. Take the E flat, move it over there. Take this G, move it back up here. So now you have. So if you're ending the song with a C minor chord, you can make it sound fancy, like. As opposed to just going. And you might have, there's times where that you might want to do it that way. But if you want to do something like I'm trying to give it a different sound, different vibe, same thing with the C minor 7 chord. If you did C minor, take the 7th. Take the 7th and put it as the root. Well, let me show you up here. So you got C minor 7, right? 1 minor 3rd, 5 minor 7. Take the B flat, play it down there, and you can still keep your C in the bass. Please, y'all, take the time, have some fun. If you're really serious about, taking your piano to the next level, take these 5 videos, these first 5 videos, take your time, work on it. It's not going to be just overnight unless you're some type of child prodigy. And if you're a child prodigy, you'll be teaching me something in like by next week anyway. You'll make a video and I'll be learning from you. It's all good. So, if you enjoyed these little series, this is my first time ever trying to teach some music theory and just keyboard basics on YouTube. That is, I did it in the classroom. I've done it in the classroom for 10 years, but and with private lessons. So this is the first time I tried to do it in the video format. Feel free, if you didn't like it, if you didn't like the way I did it, that's fine too. You can still be respectful and still say, I just wasn't feeling it. If there's anything that you can think of to make it easier or to improve, just let me know. But I'm going to stop right here. So these 5 videos, I'm going to sit back and I'm just going to see how people respond to these first 5 videos before I decide whether I'm going to do anything else. So I just made all 5 of these first 5 videos was made within a 2-hour period. Back to back to back to back to back. All right. So just leave your feedback in the comments section. And like I said, if it's positive and people are like, okay, you know what? Can we get a little bit more information, or can we learn how to read music? If you would like to how to read actual paper music, like the notes on the treble clef and bass clef, I can do that too. But I just want to see how these first 5 videos. Let's just see how these work. Let's see how if people are gravitating to them. I think I'm gonna monetize the videos too, because since I don't have any copyrighted stuff, I'm not playing other people's songs, so I'm even monetize it. And if beyond the monetization, if you would like to, donate, my PayPal, you can go to PayPal and use my email address when you get to PayPal, which is houseofjazz@yahoo.com. That's jazz with 1 Z, HOUSEOFJAZ, just 1 Z, at yahoo.com. And you would like to send a contribution because maybe you did learn something. Maybe you learned how to figure out your major and minor scales, relative minors. Maybe you learned something about chords, whatever. So if you feel that too, you don't have to. YouTube is free. The video's already up. If you're looking at this, it's already up. It's free. So like I said, I'm still going to do it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I do want to just see how people respond. You feel me? So probably the next videos I'll start doing, I'll go back to doing my piano tutorials. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little bit better with those for right now. So all right, I kind of enjoy making these, man. So again, you feel free in all the comment sections on all the videos to just let me know your feedback. And if it's constructive criticism and you're doing it in a positive way, man, I will do nothing but respect you. I can respect somebody that can say, constructively, that sucked, this sucked, whatever. Just be respectful, all right? Cool. I'll catch y'all next time around. Peace.